...2018 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV first drive, nailing the sweet spot. Throughout recent years, while the Mitsubishi marque has grieved here in the US, different parts of the world have been getting a charge out of the Outlander PHEV. It's Europe's top-of-the-line module half and half, and Mitsubishi has been enhancing it throughout the years, testing it, refining the innovation and rebuffing the vehicle in rivalries like the Baja Portuguer 500 and the Asia Cross Country Rally. Presently, as electric vehicles start to increase more noteworthy acknowledgement, and as Mitsu turns its image around, it will at last offer the Outlander PHEV in America toward the finish of this current year. As Mitsubishi plans to dispatch the Outlander PHEV stateside, we had the uncommon chance to drive it over the inside of Santa Catalina Island, off the shoreline of Los Angeles, to test it out on some rough, picturesque streets. Sitting inside the Outlander PHEV, we were really satisfied with the inside. It was basic and clean, and the plastics didn't feel particularly shoddy. Without a doubt, it wasn't the keen outline or extravagant touch purposes of the other accessible module hybrids available. However, the Outlander PHEV additionally doesn't have a similar sticker price. We certainly observed it to be more alluring and engaging than within, say, a Chevrolet Equinox. In the event that you were expecting a heap of hot trash from Mitsubishi, you're misguided. When we popped open the back liftgate to investigate, we discovered our close-perfect closely following vehicle. In the backload region was a huge amount of space, an expansive speaker, cup holders and a standard 3-prong outlet, ideal for connecting to a moderate cooker, blender, or some other machine you could discover helpful at a football game or campground. Afterward, when we would enjoy a reprieve from our drive at Catalina Island's Shark Harbor, we'd be dealt with to a smoothly arranged in a blender connected to the AC outlet. In the event that you happen to utilize every one of the 12 kWh of vitality, the gas motor will start up to fill in as a generator. The Toyota 4Runner may have had the gathering mode catch, yet the Outlander PHEV would be our pick for the stadium parking area. As we went through an entryway at the edge of the town of Avalon and headed up an earth street over the inside of Catalina Island, we were immediately awed with the way the Outlander PHEV took care of the rough, dusty trails from which most drivers are ordinarily denied. The directing feel was light yet informative, and we were extremely ready to tell what was happening between the front haggle's tough surface underneath them. It stayed created in the corners, its low focus of gravity and super all-wheel control, s-awc, four-wheel drive framework limiting roll and giving solidness. It required a decent measure of push to get this thing to surrender any footing, and we weren't enthused about pulling in the wrath of conservancy officers by outrageously breaking the island's 25-mile-per-hour speed restrict on days corners to do as such. The Outlander PHEV obtains those incredible oar shifters we adored such a great amount in the Lancer Evolution. They fill an alternate need here, however, as this module just uses a solitary, settled lessening gear. Rather, the oars modify the quality of the regenerative braking. There are 5 levels of regen, 6 on the off chance that you tally the 0 regen setting, enabling you to pick amongst drifting, and something close to one-pedal driving. While full regen won't convey you to a total stop, it will back you off essentially. We found the shifted scope of recovery particularly helpful while plummeting a lofty, rough slope. The Auto has 2 suites of drive modes, one programmed, the other chose by the driver. The Auto will consequently pick between all-electric, parallel crossover, utilizing both the fuel and electric engines to drive the wheels, and arrangement half-breed, gas engine functions as a generator, driving. It chooses whichever of the 3 modes will give the most proficient driving under the present driving circumstance, in the case of cruising through town or on the expressway, or towing or driving tough. The 3 driver selectable modes are picked by means of catches on the middle rear. The EV catch makes all-electric driving a need, yet the gas motor can even now go ahead if the circumstance, low charge or substantial quickening, for example, requires it. The battery save fasten keeps up to 90% of the battery's charge. That additional 10% enables space to exploit the regenerative braking without squandering that free vitality. Battery charge mode keeps the motor running with a specific end goal to charge the lithium particle battery, ensuring you generally have enough power when you require it. We found that the vehicle had sufficient power climbing the precarious Catalina slopes in EV mode, and if the motor at any point went ahead, we didn't take note. At the point when not in EV mode, the motor was still calm, and we just heard it buckling down when we were truly pushing the auto with a low charge. For green drivers, having those modes accessible, alongside different levels of recovery, gives a feeling of control. On some charged vehicles, the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid and Hyundai Ioniq Hybrid and plug-in ring a bell, that level of communication is restricted, keeping in mind the end goal to give a receptive, clear driving knowledge for the standard purchaser. Mitsubishi took the nerdy course. From our statistical surveying, a portion of the genuine EV or FEV, more educated clients need the control of their battery, Nate Berg let us know. Berg is Mitsubishi's senior supervisor of item arranging. Be that as it may, for an ordinary client, they simply need to drive this vehicle like some other vehicle. I would prefer not to squeeze catches, I would prefer not to stress over modes, they don't have to. It's the kind of thing that once you know the auto, you'll have the capacity to utilize your experience and know how to design your courses for most extreme proficiency. An engaging test, no doubt. The planning beyond any doubt appears to be all in all correct to acquaint the Outlander FEV with America. Truly, gas costs are low, however interest for charged vehicles is expanding, and apparently everyone, except Dodge, is getting in on the activity. In addition, the Outlander FEV has a portion advantage. America's want hybrids and SUVs appears to be unquenchable right now, and this one is evaluated inside reach of significantly a greater number of clients than other FEV cubes, and it offers DC quick charging. Coincidentally, EV driving extent and mileage figures will be discharged soon, yet Mitsubishi says it hopes to surpass the top-notch rivalry, which offer around 14 miles of EV run. The Outlander FEV could likewise remain to do well in Armada deals. It's now demonstrated itself in Europe, and if it's adequate for the Ukrainian police, it'll be sufficient for U.S. organizations or associations that need to extend a greener picture and spare cash on fuel costs. So is the Mitsubishi Outlander FEV something we'd consider owning? Completely. Put it on our short rundown for the time being, and we'll hit you up to affirm once we've had the opportunity to drive the vehicle on the interstate. In case you're somebody who needs to do the majority of their driving under electric power, yet needs the flexibility and common sense of an all-wheel drive hybrid, we'd certainly prescribe giving this one a test drive, especially in the event that you live in a solitary auto family unit. Investigate again at that last sentence. Mitsubishi may have tumbled off your radar over the previous decade, yet the arrangement of necessities this vehicle serves is an entirely colossal and underserved sweet spot. The Outlander FEV will hit U.S. dealerships in late December 2020.